Thank you so much for joining us once again. This is News at 10. My name is Patricia Mukoma Mpango, and straight away into the bulletin. With just a few hours to the Chabazinga royal wedding of Busoga Kingdom, police and the Katukiro of Busoga Kingdom, Joseph Muvawala, have held a joint press conference with Kingdom officials in which police reiterated its commitment to deal with any security threat intended to disrupt the royal wedding.
Protect all our international guests, protect the facility, protect the Chabazinga and Inebantu, protect the subjects.
Ja kufuna nente abantu debajo kulia buli kintu bakituwaire n'abantu bana ati abantu jakubaawo so tuli basanufu ino ndikuba kola nti abali masisa mwena mwide mukunganire ku fete bakoba okunganirako.
As we do the wedding tomorrow, we should be mindful of the fact that other people are allowed to go about their businesses. Tukyayigala nguudo olw'okuba tulumba. Eri abantu abangi abali kuva Embalaba nga balina okutuusa ebintu byabwe manguwa. Aye poliisi
Deputy RSS in charge, Northern Division. Here we are at the cathedral, Gembe Cathedral. The church is well prepared, and security, as far as security is concerned, we are well prepared. We are on the last touches. Everything is in place, as you can see. Security is very tight. Anyone to come at the church, the ticket is a card, invitation card. Anyone without a card, kindly. There is a place well gazetted for you. Kindly, you'll be welcomed there. There are some ushers to welcome you. But those ones with cards, our guests with cards are the only ones that will be allowed in church premises. With the reception, the same. The entry ticket that takes you there is the card. Anyone without a card will not come into the church premises.
The wedding was supposed to take place in the cathedral, at Press Cathedral of Gembe, inside the church, but because of the big numbers that we expect, the organizers decided that the wedding will take place here under these tents. They have erected it. The first one will accommodate like more than 2,000 people, maybe 2,500. Then the second one, which will have the Chabazinga and the Inebantu, plus the church and the government dignitaries will hold around 300. So as a church, we are delighted, and as Busoga, we are happy that our Chabazinga is getting us the Inebantu.
The palace is ready for occupation. And tomorrow will be the first time the Chairperson of Busoga will use a fully completed palace. We want to thank Your Excellency. We want to thank all the companies that have contributed to this function. We want to thank most especially you, the media. The media. Thank you, and thank you very much.
Indeed, all is set for the D-Day, which is tomorrow, the 18th of November 2023. And moving still within the same momentum, with just a few hours left to the D-Day of Busoga Royal Wedding, slated for Saturday, 18th November 2023 in Jinja District. The heads of security in the area have maintained that access to the wedding reception at Igenge Palace will only be limited to invited and accredited guests. Members of the general public are urged to follow the wedding proceedings from either their homes or from designated public centers across the kingdom.
Different heads of security agencies have this Friday afternoon ascertained the readiness of Jinja District for the 18th November 2023 Chavazinga Royal Wedding.
Then we shall have some more special cars or buses which will pick our guests from those ends up to the church and also at Igenge.
The team comprising of police and UPDF began by
without a card, you will not access the main reception. Because the main reception, we are intending to only have 2,000 people. If we allowed everybody to come, definitely the whole Busoga would come here, and they cannot fit here. So in order to regulate and manage the function well, at least there are limited numbers.
On top of limiting access to main venues, police warns about possible security sabotage.
Allow anybody to sabotage this function because the security is very alert and the security on the ground. We have made everything possible to make sure that the function is secured, and everybody, not only in Bugembe where the function is going to be, but in the entire Busoga. Even where we have these other functions at the chiefdom level, we are ensuring that there is total safety.
Under the strict watch of the counter-terrorism police unit, these are the guidelines for the royal procession in Jinja City.
We have also been guided that the king after the wedding will go to town. When the king is moving around with in a band, we shall not allow any vehicle or motorcycle or a bicycle to join in. No, that one will not happen.
For the kingdom confirms that all is set for the main events. Christ Cathedral in Bugembe is where the main wedding will be happening, and there has been also another inspection. Security has confirmed that the Igenge Palace and other venues within Jinja District, specifically for the VVIPs, will be accessed by the presence of showing in your invitation or accreditation card. The event here at Igenge Palace, we are told, will only last until 8 p.m. of the Saturday 18th November 2023. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Now, among those in the final preparations for the royal wedding in Jinja is a choir of 80 choir stars who have been having serious training for close to 3 weeks. Let's hear more in this report.
This is Bugembe Cathedral here in Jinja District, where the royal wedding of the Chavazinga of Busoga will be happening this Saturday 18th November 2023. As they wind up the preparations to ensure that they give us the best on the day, the choir is in final touches. have lined up a section of songs.
We are pleased to inform you that the choristers are very ready. They have been well prepared. Their singing is refined, and I believe they will be able to give very good melodies that will soothe the listeners.
According to choir directors and managers, the team was as big as 300, but it has been slashed to over 85 to give the best of the day.
These people have been training for about 3 weeks, and today you see the training is not intense because they have already done enough. We want to keep their voices decent so that tomorrow when they present, they have very good tones.
The songs, however, will cut across all different language to ensure that no one is left behind.
We'll present some hymns in English, some in Uganda, some songs have been composed in Lusoga, and even some psalms will be sung in Lusoga.
But how about that cultural attachment?
When we come to Lusoga, there is a component that is cultural, because we have even to compose songs following the cultural tones. Unlike other languages and English, here in Lusoga, most of the songs they observe a pentatonic scale.
Although the cathedral looks to be dull at this moment, however, there is an assurance that come on 18th November 2023, which is tomorrow, by exactly 8 a.m., the gates of this cathedral will be open to the invited and a few members of the general public to witness the historical moment of the royal wedding of the Chavazinga of Busoga. Robert Onyango, UBC News, Jinja District.
Now, in other stories, Uganda Bureau of Statistics, National Planning Authority and Ministry of Finance and the Office of the Prime Minister are working together to come up with a National Standard Indicator Framework, a document that will help define the same indicators of development from all development frameworks, while unveiling the framework levels 1 and 2 at Statistics House in Kampala. The Director, Methodology and Statistical Coordinator Services at UBOS, James Mwonge, said the information reported differently tends to be distorted, yet it comes from the same government, hence the need to minimize inconsistencies.
Uganda Bureau of Statistics has unveiled a national standard indicator framework that facilitates alignment of statistical programs to development agenda. Accordingly, development planning starts with setting the strategic direction, like coming up with a vision, goals, objectives and outcomes. The acting principal statistician and planning at UBOS, Suna Lutu, says they are making good progress in NSI level 1 and 2, albeit with challenges of limited internal coordination with ministries, departments and agencies and weak data sharing arrangements.
To produce proportion of paved roads out of total road network, I will have to get some information from UNRA, I have to get some information from Road Fund, from the local government and so forth. But I'm saying within, you find that even within the institution, if somebody approaches you for data, it's as if it is highly confidential and to some extent personalized.
UBOS, a national planning authority, came up with this framework to inform other development frameworks like National Development Plan, Sustainable Development Goals, and the East African Community Agenda.
That is reported differently, tends to be different. And yet it is from, or is coming from government. So we want to make sure that if there is a reporting, it's one indicator that when you come to the Bureau, you get the same information. When you go to National Planning Authority, you have the same information. So by putting it together and using the same, you are minimizing those inconsistencies in reporting.
A set of indicators put in this framework include GDP growth and the poverty level. UBOS gets information from ministries that relates to literacy levels in education and maternal mortality rates under health. However, there were gaps in the indicators in the report produced by National Planning Authority last year, and UBOS was answerable.
The report that the Planning Authority produced, I think last year, it showed that many indicators didn't have data. And so the Bureau was tasked to actually explain on why there are some gaps. Okay? But some of these gaps are as a result of failure to produce the information at the ministry, department level, and yet, the Bureau was expected to report.
This is the last activity to mark the African Statistics Week by Uganda Bureau of Statistics. I'm Nafka Farida and Juman Samba in Kampala.
FDC Katonga Faction has criticized the hypocrisy among some members of parliament from opposition side. They communicated this basing on the move by some members who decided to attend parliamentary sittings, defying the decision of boycotting parliament following delay by government to give a report on the alleged abducted Ugandans.
Trying civilian in the military court-martial, land grabbing of the actually customary land by the Balalo. We encourage our leaders in Parliament to continue with their actions. It has come to our notice that some FDC members of Parliament, including the former SG Honanda Lamafabi, his colleague Hone Godfrey Kanya, and Honorable Nsibambi, have gone against the collective decision of the boycotting planned by opposition until the demands are met. The FDC disassociates itself from actions of these members, and the relevant party organ has taken keen interest in the decision
and give out our demands to government, not to Parliament but to government, to the executive, that once these demands are not met, then we are not going to be attending Parliament. And so we expected that all of us do that as opposition. Being in government, in Parliament, when all of us are out, is a clear indication of who they work for. We are saying we are against discrimination, we are against violation of human rights. For you say, I support violation of human rights by your actions. You say, I don't care whether people disappeared or not.
Now, the Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs, Hajat Minsa Kavanda, together with the Head of Public Service and Secretary to Cabinet, Lucy Nachowe Mbonye, State Minister for Kampala, Chofa Togabye Kabuye, and then KCCA Executive Director Dorothy Chisaka, and KCCA technical officers have inspected the ongoing roadworks and security lights in Kampala ahead of the Non-Aligned Movement Summit and the China G77 conference slated for January 2024 in Kampala.
A delegation that included the Minister for Kampala Metropolitan Affairs, Hajat Minsa Kavanda, Head of Public Service and Secretary to the Cabinet, Lucy Nachowe Mbonye, State Minister for Kampala, Kabuye Chofa Togabye, and KCCA Management towards streets of Kampala and the roads along Gaba Munyonyo during the monitoring of security lights.
Not going to stop today, but we are going to continue touring the town, the district. But still, even other repairs of roads and other things. So this is going to be a routine, not only today. Just because we are preparing for the visitors who are coming. Secondly, even the big days, December
December 1st.
Deputy ED-KCCA David Luimbazi, who headed the technical team, highlighted the challenges and areas where lights are needed.
The physical planning activities, where we're clearing the frontages, making sure the owners of buildings next adjacent to the roads paint their buildings, make sure they're not unsightly, illegal kiosks are moved, illegal markets are removed, frontages are, pavers are installed, or the vegetation is well trimmed and managed. That is an exercise that is ongoing. We're using the rapid response unit to do the initial clearance of all the streets or all the corridors we have interest in. Then we shall have our enforcement team maintain the order we desire.
He emphasized that they are ready to make Kampala streets and the roads leading to NAM Summit venue to be lit, urging people living or having structures along these roads to maintain all the guidelines presented to them
by different providers, so that the KC electric team can go on to fix all the lights all the way from Mokwano up to the site of the convention. We believe and trust that in about 2 weeks, provided the works are done, because we don't want to put the street lights on before the works are done. But for example, in Kampala, in the CBD, where repairs are actually required, we can do it because there's no works going on. But all the way from Mukwano up to Munyonyo, where works are done, the lights will be repaired immediately.
Mary Namkose, Jamil Sekaja, UBC News.
Now, the Lango District Chairpersons and Mayors Association have called upon government to rethink on the opportunities given to the region. The chairperson says Lango has been highly marginalized without any major infrastructure constructed by government.
Statement from the Speaker, with due respect, is a misguided statement.
Lango District Chairperson, through their leadership of Lango District Chairpersons and Mayors Association, are demanding an apology from the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong, for a comment she made after the emotional press conference held by Lango MPs on the exclusion of Akibwa Stadium from hosting AFCON in 2027.
Because what our MPs have spoken, that is the true voice of the people of Lango. And I also want to inform the nation that the issue of Akibwa being taken out of the list of the stadium to host AFCON 2027, I am telling you there is no substitute for that.
The chairperson said the Speaker should consider the pain with which the sub-region feels marginalized without a single major infrastructural development to show.
The health services. It is only Lango sub-region that has only one general hospital, that is Apache, which is even in a dilapidated state. Go to West Nile, they have 5 district hospitals out of 10 districts. Go to Western Uganda, go to Eastern Uganda. When it comes to infrastructures, especially the road network, Lango, the tarmac road is only 3%. The government sent the Right Honorable Speaker then, the late Olanya, to come and launch the construction of the Lango Cultural Foundation. Where is it? So the removal of Akibwa is a very big reminder to us that you people, you matter less.
So the president should wake up and stop and advise also his people to stop careless statements being made, which provokes the people of Lango. We have been so patient a long time now, many years. The national airport at Anai has flopped. It's been there for quite a long time. Now, what do you expect leaders of Lango to do? I'm very small, a chairman district, very small, and cannot advise the president because this is a very serious thing which is happening here. The mobilization this is taking place in Lango now. I've never seen the unity. And if Akibwa is not constructed, I bet you.
However, government through the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Biaromunsi, explained that a decision has already been taken to construct stadia in each region where Akibwa Stadium will also be covered. Ediolwa, UBC News.
Uganda Prison Services has underscored the need to improve and adapt structures and conditions of improvement in line with regional and international standards, particularly the United Nations Standard Minimum Rules for Treatment of the Prisoners. The Commissioner General Uganda Prison Services, Dr. Johnson Byabashaija, revealed this during a workshop on prison infrastructure in Africa, where he also expressed continued need to upgrade and maintain existing infrastructure.
Opportunities of collaboration, opportunities of support, like what the ICRC has done here, opportunities of innovation, but also above all, political support. If you don't have political support as a prison service, you will remain down there. In Uganda these days, we are holding our heads high because we have unequivocal support of the President of the Republic of Uganda. We should clap for him.
The workshop stressed the challenges faced by African correctional services in terms of prison infrastructure and maintenance, as well as the humanitarian consequences. For example, outdated facilities, insufficient resources, inadequate sanitation, inadequate care for special categories such as the young, female, elderly, and special needs inmates, rehabilitation, and health care, thereby threatening the moral and physical integrity of the entire prison community.
Minister for Works and Transport, General Edward Katumba Wamala, has pledged support towards children suffering from cancer. The minister made the pledge at a book launch titled Endurance, a Sure Shot of Victory.
Katumba Wamala, a born of Bweza in Kalangala District, Sese Islands, is currently 67 years old. He has served in various leadership positions, including police, military, political and other spaces. He is currently the Minister for Works and Transport, but says it has not been easy to get where he is. This is among the content in the book titled Endurance, a Sure Shot to Victory. At the launch of this book, General Wamala did not fail to express the anger and horror he went through on the day he was attacked by unknown assailants, which led to the death of his daughter. In memory of his daughter, General Wamala pledged to fulfill some of her dreams by taking the proceeds from the book to Mulago General Hospital to help children battling cancer.
Part of the money, at least 10% of that book proceeds, will go to helping the sick, especially the children in Mulago, many of whom are dying, not because of the cancer, but because of lack of good nutrition.
The General urged the youth not to despise themselves if they are given responsibilities in various positions.
We must all serve and serve our country diligently. Nobody will serve this country for us. It's us, it's our country, we must serve it ourselves. And we must serve it diligently and with all the commitment. If you are put in a position to serve, please serve.
In a special way, General Katumba Wamala thanked President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for trusting him.
Go to His Excellency the President, retired General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for giving me the opportunity to serve my country in the various roles and responsibilities as brought out in this book. He has given me that opportunity.
The chief guest at the event, General Salim Saleh, praised the work of General Katumba Wamala and asked others to take him as an example.
What shocked me most was his capacity to change from one position to another. One day you are a soldier, then the next day you are a policeman, then the next day you are supposed to be a diplomat. Those are qualities most of us don't have.
The ceremony was attended by various army generals, ministers, dignitaries from Uganda and foreign ambassadors, among others. I'm Nafka Farida and Michael Bakabulindi.
The Parliamentary Committee on Health is advocating for more leave days for mothers who give birth to preterm babies. Margaret Ayebare, who represented the committee, made the remarks during the celebrations to commemorate the World Prematurity Day.
I always refer to how are we doing at home.
We are going to support facilities with newborn care equipment. The Ministry of Health has already purchased some. We had a discussion with UNICEF yesterday. We are going to buy more, and more other NGOs are coming on board to support these lower facilities with equipment. We no longer want to hear that equipment is the cause of death for these premature babies.
Actually, you can have a preterm baby, but working together with the health workers, once they know what to do, and with your effort with the family support, we can actually avert deaths that are related to prematurity.
There is one of the mothers that we saw in this hospital, and me looking at her and the environment around her showed me that she has been in this hospital for more than 2 months. And as mothers, we are given only 3 months as time for leave to take care of our babies once we have given birth. So I was wondering, such a mother who is already 3 months here, and she's supposed to go back home with this tiny baby at home. And she looked affluent lady, and by the fact of how she was, expressing herself, she must be falling into the working category in this country. That means that if we are to go by the policy of maternal leave, she is supposed to drop the baby home, and the next day she goes to secure her job. I want to say that personally, as a member of parliament, I will follow up this to ensure that we go case by case. Such mothers should be given more than the 3 months of leave that is in the policy of this country.
Uganda Business and Technical Examination Board's examinations are set to span from November 17th to December 23 and will be conducted across 624 centers countrywide.
The second phase involving practical evaluations is scheduled to begin on November 18, 2023, with the support of the Uganda Police Force to ensure a smooth and inclusive examination process.
The board conducted the briefing of area coordinators on 10th November 2023 across the country. The board also encourages all heads of centers to conduct briefing of candidates to ensure smooth conduct of examinations. Delivery of all examination materials at storage facilities will begin tomorrow, Saturday, 18th November 2023, across the country with the help of Uganda Police Force.
The board has registered 481 candidates with special needs, comprising 298 men and 183 women pursuing various professions.
The special needs candidates will be accorded special examination arrangements such as sign language interpreters and transcribers, while others will be accorded extra 30 minutes. The board has accordingly deployed 95 support personnel to assist the 95 candidates with special needs.
Among them, 95 candidates will require special attention, addressing visual impairment, hearing difficulties, physical disabilities, and more. The Executive Secretary highlighted the diverse categories of registered candidates, with 1,343 engaged in business education, 3,241 in agriculture-related programs, and an unspecified number of technical programs.
Also requested the heads of centers and encouraged them to highlight the penalties involved in case you are caught in a malpractice case. As part of vigilance and ensuring security of examinations, the board has deployed 750 scouts or the coordinators for all the phases, for phase 1 and phase 2. And then, given the practical and hands-on nature of our assessment of some of the modules, the board will also deploy 2,685 practical assessors and verifiers to conduct on-spot assessment of candidates.
The board encourages strict adherence to examination rules and regulations and urges centers to foster an environment conducive to fair and transparent assessments. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
In celebration of the World Geographic Information Systems, GIS, Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs Hajat Mensa Kavanda urges citizens to embrace technology in order to save time. GIS captures, stores, analyzes and monitors, plus presents data that is linked to location.
I hope the GIS section is mandated to develop a central spatial data resource serving citywide applications and customer service needs. It offers users multiple platforms to view and interact with the spatial data as well as saving time.
Today, November 17th, 2023, marks the day to recognize when the science of geographical made computer and computer systems. This presents the opportunity for users of GIS to demonstrate real-world applications that are mixing the difference in our society. Benefits of GIS technology include, among others, increased productivity and rapid transformation, increasing efficiency, saves time, which translates to saving money. Applications of GIS improve the quality of life because they make things easier.
The Deputy Executive Director of KCCA, David Luyimbazi, says this focuses on inspiring the new generation to address challenges and discover solutions through contemporary geographic approach and use of GIS tools.
This is where the problem is. This is why we have flooding at soil. This is why we have flooding at Autospa. If we correct A, B, C, D, and E, we shall get a solution. But the moment we continue to talk rhetorically, so academically, we shall lose connection with our decision makers and we shall fail to get the decisions we want done, which are intended to make us perform.
The GIS section has a steady database with useful information such as maps, which can be downloaded for free from data catalog or accessed freely by the public on request.
Validate this data. And it's hard to validate the data by going on ground, but using the 3D oblique image, we were able to capture the different corners of the building and then validate the data. If someone brings in a form that shows that the particular building has 5 stories, with the image we go to the building and we check, does it really have 5 stories or not? And sometimes you find that the information differs. So this information, GIS 3D, is helping us with that. It has spatial location attached to it, and using this data.
Now, Chiria Dongo District Chairperson Eliguma Edith and the district technical team have inspected district roads, schools and health centers in Kiryadongo district. Earlier on, the district local government held a budget conference at the district conference hall to ascertain a revenue plan and activities ahead of 2024-2025.
This area was really a very hard place to cross. The swamp was full of water. People are now happy.
Kiryadongo was allocated 14.28 billion, and the following projects are being implemented. Construction of Nanda Popala Road, construction of a bridge along Ararugaro swamp.
You can see where we are standing now. The terrace has been built, and now the Nowo District we have adopted in all the schools.
Because that is after delivery. So this is the one where our mothers rest.
The district we are very happy that now we have enough space for our mothers. After delivery, they can rest here. We feel our mothers are not doing badly, except for now what we don't have are mosquito nets.
To share with the district stakeholders sector priorities for financial year 2024-2025 with a view of capturing their proposals that must conform to the issued sector guidelines.
This is very important because it's a turning point, because we're going to change from we are completing our 5-year development plan, which we have been implementing the third one since Kiryadongo became a district. And that development plan has been running from 2020 to 2021.
Now, stakeholders in allied healthcare training institutions have expressed dismay over the lack of a technical curriculum for allied healthcare training institutions, saying this is detrimental to the improvement of healthcare delivery in the country.
I swear to fulfill to the best of my ability and judgment this covenant.
A total of 350 healthcare givers have graduated with diplomas and certificates in clinical medicine and community health, diploma in public health, dentistry, diploma in medical laboratory, certificate in dental, chairside assisting, certificate in medical laboratory techniques at Medicare Health Professionals College in Mengo, Kampala. While addressing the 16th graduation assembly, the director, Medicare Health Professionals College, Dr. Alex Kampikaho, wondered why it is taking longer for the Ministry of Education and Sports to come up with a standardized curriculum,
including the curricula that we are using. I can't imagine that this year we are using this curriculum, but next year we shall be using another curriculum, and probably the other year we shall be using another curriculum. We need curricula that can stand the test of time so that we can have standard health workers.
Dr. Kampikaho called upon the private allied healthcare professionals to team up as one body to be able to address the increasing challenges of healthcare training in Uganda.
I recommend strongly that for things to be done properly, the private allied health training institutions should come together and associate so that their problems are addressed.
The chief guest at the graduation event and acting executive secretary of Uganda Allied Health Examinations Board, Dr. Julius Kamwesiga, urged the healthcare training institutions to include medical imaging course onto their training packages, citing the need to serve the over 45 million Ugandans who are currently served by only 37 radiologists.
I therefore want to challenge the college to introduce post-basic programs such as medical imaging, interpretation, and as of 2021, Uganda had only 37 radiologists. Only 37 radiologists.
Other guests at the occasion included the college patron, Dr. Geoffrey Kabagambe, and the college principal, David Kansime, among other dignitaries.
Besides your technical knowledge, what will separate you from the rest are the soft skills like obedience, personal responsibility, respect.
Dr. Geoffrey Kabagambe tasked the graduate healthcare professionals to employ soft skills but also look for ways of addressing the increasing mental health challenges in Ugandan population.
That 30% of us in this country have got mental ill health related issues. That's quite a big number. Of course, those are statistics, but shows you that we have an issue with mental health. And you, as graduates, especially those who are in that area of managing, please keep that in mind.
Characterized by happy moments, the healthcare graduates are optimistic to serve the underserved.
I'm going to serve the underserved to their best.
Make sure that they serve those people who don't have access on medical services.
I'm hoping to give the best service, to apply the best that I've got from school and by
Douglas Setumba compiled this report.
A Lango District local government has appealed for a special funding from government of Uganda to increase efforts in reducing the sickle cell disease burden in the district. Lango is currently the leading district with the highest prevalence of 23%, higher than the national prevalence of 13%.
Reports indicate that annually 25,000 children are born sickless. Unfortunately, 80% of these children die before 5 years. In Uganda, Lango District is leading with the highest prevalence of 23%, higher than the national prevalence.
So, a Lango Health Center for if it could also be equipped to handle cases, because now that the prevalence is very high, that means we also need to have the drugs and also the enough personnel.
we need to support them. How?
Makerere University, through the Department of Population Studies, conducted a 3-phase survey in Lango District to assess how information, education and communication materials can improve knowledge, attitudes and practices towards sickle cell disease in the district.
We went back, we analyzed the data, and the results show that there was an improvement in knowledge of sickle cell disease. Then there was an improvement in testing of sickle cell disease, because during the behavior change campaign we did some testing of sickle cell disease. So
Dr. Gaba says the behavioral change campaigns conducted in 3 sub-counties caused a significant change.
There is need for more sensitization of the masses. There is need to avail sickle cell testing services for the people.
Florence Akeche, mother to a 12-year-old girl, says the intervention in the sub-county has reduced stigma on her daughter. She says her neighbors have now allowed their children to play with her. A Lango District chairperson wants government to allocate more funding to the district to implement the recommendations made by Makerere University.
Considering the information which you have got and the level of awareness of creation which is created in those 3 sub-counties, I feel more funding, more resources should be allocated so that we reach out to the entire district.
The hydroxyurea capsule, that helps us a lot. The formulation that are in place are still an adult formulation. If it would be possible, they should make a formulation that can address the problem of the children, because our children are those who are suffering the most.
Sickle cell disease, also called sickle cell anemia, is a group of inherited red blood cell disorders deformed into a sickle shape. The cells die early and can block blood flow, causing pain known as sickle cell crisis. Eddie Olua, UBC News.
Lagos.
ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu. Nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa. Amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ageewala ennyo. Okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo. Ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kkubo ku ki ky'osobola okukola ku mukutu nnandameggwa ogwa MTN.
Prof Bio Research abawanguzi ba awadi ya Best East African Brand 2023 bakutegekedde omusomo. The Great Sound Down 8 Sante zimera committee okukubirawo kubanga 26 November paka nga 2 December Wikotorio Mall Hall Rooftop omusomesa waffe yomukenkufu Nyanzi Julius ekyuma kiwagala kyuma musansi ne tekinologiya mwe muli okola ebigimusa okuva mu pampa z'abaana n'enjazi za vermiculite okukamula omubisi mu menvu ng'embidde ng'okozesa ekyuma okutandikawo obukolero ng'okukola sabuni wa habo n'okukola ebibiriiti kw'ogateka ennima ey'omulembe ng'okulima ekitiko okutu kw'abakadde kanodama mushroom okulima ensogasoga jangu oyiga okugattako omutindo gamba ng'okukola ebizigo n'omubisi okuva mu kigaji okukamula butto mu nsogasoga nga tiketi ya mitwalo 10 ng'ofunirako tule y'amagi ga safurani n'ekitiko kya ganodama saa 3 ez'okumakya nga tutandika buukinga tiketi yo ng'ogigula ku mobile money ku noti 7 noti 3 152
Banyeta ko Muhangi Donata the chairperson wa group ejeje eyatungire.
I am the chairperson of this group that got money. The group is called Kalsandala HIV/AIDS Crafts Women Group. UWEP gave us money in 2017 and they gave us 3.3 million Ugandan shillings. We used it in 1 year and got 23 million out of it. We do baskets and kitchen gardens, and we also have a saving group. We thank UWEP because this money helped us as women. Women can now educate their children and build houses because many of them are single mothers. We work without jealousy because we want to leave a legacy that even those who will be around tomorrow will appreciate.
Era tutukanga omuntu nti nigasita ndala mukaga itano sita isatu ash onige yes
nga obakubuza machanti
nga bamubuza machanti code nga tumukobata mu nsanvu bino ndi olumalirizawo ngatamwe sente dali kuwayo kumbaga ya mwenemu sawa yeneyo nga kyabazinga amwebaza nga tweyongere kai tujja mu kyalo ekindi
ekikoba embago lunawa luti nga mwira
tulija kumala kai tweyongere emyezi mukaga nga tukasomesa abantu momope
baba embaga ya mwenemu eriyo nga 18 kai emyezi omukaga gyoli kuongeramu ojaji
awidi ne bya momope abantu yembite yona bandeta momo ono ne bibali kumpaka ne bya momo pabidi tyama kupichipichi ojo bisomesa
muleke musoni we tyamaja
baba tuka bulungi
simbule embalasi asumulude
momo nyabo.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cash back every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Welcome back. It's time for us to look at what's happening in the world of business. Now, financial technology is allowed for driving innovation and expanding services in the country. According to Joyce Nabusa Sebugwawo, the ICT State Minister, reaching undeserved communities is top priority. She made these remarks while officiating at the Digital Impact Awards 2023 in Kampala.
At the Digital and Financial Inclusion Summit in Kampala, the State Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Joyce Nabosa Sebugwao, commended the remarkable journey of digital transformation in shaping Uganda's business landscape.
As a leader and an entrepreneur, I have always believed in the power of technology to transform lives. Today, we stand at the forefront of the digital revolution that is not just shaping our presence, but also defining our future.
The 10th Digital and Financial Inclusion Summit, organized by High People and partners, was a deep dive into the strategic trends and technologies shaping the future of digital, ICTs and business, with particular focus on ensuring safety of customers' funds and securing platforms in the digital financial services ecosystem. Although Uganda has made significant strides on the digital front over the last decade, there is more room and opportunities to grow further and positively impact the citizens' social and economic well-being. Innocent Kawoya is the High People Chief Executive.
Well, we have been able to move so far, but the journey ahead is even longer than the much we've moved. I mean, every one other player, every one other organization, Commonwealth now is envisioning frontlining digitization as an agenda for their next 75 years of ensuring that all the 56 countries in Commonwealth are actually having clear and deliberate approaches to ensuring digitization helps them include everyone and eradicate poverty and also help in supporting meeting the SDGs.
Some of the notable winners in the gold and diamond categories at the Digital Impacts Awards were MTN, Uganda Registration Services Bureau, Safe Border, and the National Water and Sewerage Corporation.
Today we won the Utilities and Government Services Digital Excellence Award. Just to give you a quick brief, we embarked on this journey about 5 years ago. We have a strategy called All Digital, All Online. So we focused on making sure that we push all our services online. We recently launched the online business registration system, which has worked very, very well.
What we've done different is we basically are improving and enhancing our digital customer care. On our digital platforms, we make sure that we respond to our customers within 30 minutes, that's the maximum, but usually between 5 minutes to 10 minutes. So our customers want real-time resolutions to customer concerns. They want help. They need solutions to their concerns. So we make sure that not only do we respond, but we delight them. We delight their experiences.
Uganda currently prides of having at least 20 million bank accounts, an exponential rise in the last decade credited to digital transformation.
And into sports, the 17th edition of the Interforce Games was launched at the police headquarters Naguru. 4 teams will compete in the 8 disciplines from the 18th of November to the 1st of December 2023 at Kigo Range Ground, Kabarye and Masende Stadium.
The launch of the 17th edition of this year's Interforce Games happened Friday, 17th of November 2023 at police headquarters in Naguru. 4 teams from Uganda Police, Uganda Prisons, Uganda Wildlife Authority and Uganda People's Defense Forces will compete in 8 disciplines for bragging rights to be this year's champions.
8 disciplines to be participated in, namely athletics, darts, football, netball, taekwondo, volleyball, and handball. And we expect to amass a number of 1,000 players. There was an initiation of the chiefs of these institutions to come up with an activity that can bring together the forces in an enhanced cooperation. And one of the beyond operations, because normally as forces we are most of the times in the operations, we meet in the field and we don't have time to interact beyond that. So this is one of the activities which was initiated.
These games not only offer Uganda's armed forces an opportunity to battle for victory, but enables them to connect and create bonding time together, not forgetting the importance of physical exercise.
They are not held for competing. Yes, competing is there. That's why you get trophies. That's why you get number positions, that you are number this, number that. That's there. But in the overall, the whole purpose is enhancing cooperation. All cooperation is very important. So interforce games help us in building our own physical fitness. Physical fitness is very critical for the work we do in this country.
This year's theme is fostering wellness and interagency cooperation through sports for a safer and secure Uganda. The games will happen at the Kigorage Ground, Kabalie and Masindi Stadium from the 18th of November to the 1st of December 2023. Marshall, Miro, UBC News.
Now, Uganda Football League continues to grow day by day. Projections of spreading the game to schools in upcountry have been unveiled. Uganda Football Association FUFA believes that by the end of the year, players' welfare will have been boosted. Let's hear more in this report.
After years without a sponsor, Uganda Futsal Premier League has had a money investment, boosting players and officials' welfare. Bet Power Uganda comes on board with a 1.18 billion shilling sponsorship for the Futsal League, the FUFA Drum and the FUFA Big League. Before this sponsorship deal, futsal players had to play with little allowances, but not anymore. All players picked for the match day squad will be paid 150,000 shillings for every fixture their team wins during the season.
I'm proud of the sponsorship that we've taken on for futsal, and we as Bet Power are committed to promoting sport, and that is what we're going to do. In our contracts that we've signed of sponsorship with FUFA, futsal is among those of the items that we took out, and I reiterate our commitment to this particular cause.
Since this money has come into futsal, the futsal development is going to be high. Futsal is going to become a mass sport in Uganda. It's going to be played by more people in all towns, in all schools.
Other benefits being introduced to the Bet Power Futsal League include awards for the most valuable player of the season, best goalkeeper, coach player of the season, most assists, and young player of the season. Teams competing in the Bet Power Futsal League have also been availed with official jerseys and training kits. Futsal is a five-a-side football game where teams compete in what would be termed as a half field. Uganda Football Federation dreams of promoting the game not only in schools but also spread it through the entire country.
Thank you so much for being a part of us. That does bring us to the end of News Tonight at 10. But just a quick reminder, please join the excitement of tomorrow, the 18th of November 2023, as the Chabazinga William Gabula Nadiope the fourth is wedding the Inebantu Jovia Motesi. Of course, as a national broadcaster, we will be broadcasting this live, so stay inspired. My name is Patricia Lokoma Mpango. Good night.